It's a journey spanning 3 weeks, testing and teasing the skills of dozens of golfers. From Helfrich to Fendrick, Rolling Hills to ECC. You have to beat the best to be the best and earn the coveted title of City Golf Champion. Almost a century of history, rewriting itself year after year, all coming down to Sunday at Evansville Country Club, and it starts right now.
Welcome to the Romain Cadillac City Golf Tournament Show.
Another successful year in the books as we welcome you to the Romain Cadillac City Golf Tournament Show. Alongside the 1969 winner of the City Golf Championship, Bob Walther, I'm Michael Gross. And, well, Bob, the City Golf Championship coming to a close once again, the 95th edition, and it sure was fantastic.
Well, it really was, Michael. We were really proud of the history of the tournament. I think I mentioned to you before, we're 4 years older than the Masters, and so really blessed to have the Romain Cadillac be our title sponsor.
And it really always brings a buzz to the city. Every time you get to the beginning of August, you know that you're going to hit the links again and of course, have the best golfers in the area on the course together. Yeah.
Well, the city kind of caps off the golf season. You know, most of the major tournaments and some of the club championships are over, and what all the better players, you know, look forward to and play toward is playing well in the city.
And every big tournament has an origin story, and there is no exception here. From Kevin Wasmer's 10 wins in 20 years, from 92 to 2012, to Jerry Schreiber and Ed Wolf's dominance in the 50s and 60s. New chapters get written every year, and it's always exciting to see. But, you know, in recent years, many of the champions have been first-time winners. So, Bob, how is today's game so much different from what it was back then?
Well, when I first started playing golf, amateur golf was dominated by men from 25 to 35 years old. And that really started changing dramatically in the early 70s when college golf became such a big thing. These young men come out of college and even out of high school. High school golf is much different now than it was back in those days. So players get tournament tough and experienced at an early age. You know, particularly the college players, they come out of college ready to play pro golf.
Yeah, they really do, and that's what makes the competition so much more difficult. Let's walk through the schedule of how we got to today. On July 20th, the qualifiers took place at Fendrick, 150-player field, Helfrich, then Fendrick, and then a couple of tougher private courses in Rolling Hills and the Evansville Country Club. The difficulty ramps up with each day.
That's correct.
And so, you know, every year, these courses bring surprises, and some holes play a bit different than others. You know, how would you prepare for this tournament if you were a first-time player?
Well, for a first-time player, most of them have played the municipal courses. The big challenge for them, if they make the cut, is to get ready to play the country club courses. Both of them have peculiar, what we call local knowledge issues. So they need to try to get on those courses, and we have practice rounds available to them to get out there and familiarize themselves with much faster greens, much more challenging shots to the greens.
Yeah, and you're going to really need to get a good grasp of how to play the course. Let's grab a look at the field after day one of the city tournament. A couple of high schoolers near the top there, Bob Blackard and Sorrell. It's not uncommon to see a younger competitor jump out in front of the field, but a couple of vets wedged in there as well after day one.
Yeah, what was uncommon today to have two high school seniors in the final group in the tournament.
Right, and we're going to get there at 1.2. And, well, day two, the top of the leaderboard really starts to take shape there. Now it's both high schoolers inside the top three. 6 shots between 8 players from first to fifth. 4 of them tied in fifth. The second round may not be much different in difficulty than the first, but it kind of helps answer the question, are the guys at the top here to stay?
Well, they are, and you know, that's the second round. Being at Helfrich this year, Helfrich is a more difficult golf course than Fendrick, and but there were some fabulous scores shot at Helfrich this year. 144 was our 36-hole cut, the lowest in the history of the tournament.
What was the biggest takeaway from that first weekend between the two courses?
Well, that's hard to say. Particularly this year, because they played Helfrich so very well also. Right. But the fact that we had 2 players shot 63 at Fendrick, and then at Helfrich, we had Matt Monroe come back with 63 there. Those are phenomenal scores.
Exactly, and it's not easy to translate from one day to the next, but to go from Saturday to Sunday from Helfrich to Fendrick, Slightly different courses, but definitely not as hard as Rolling Hills and Evansville Country Club. How do you translate that momentum from Saturday to Sunday on week one?
Well, on week one, the thing at Helfrich that the players have to get used to is playing from a very, very hilly golf course. Fenwick is very flat. They're playing from level lies most of the time. Helfrich, you're playing uphill lies, downhill lies, side hill lies. So it's a lot more challenging shot-making golf course. And I think the players probably spend more time practicing there prior to the tournament for that reason.
Yeah, of course, you have to get your reps in to be able to, I don't know, be comfortable, I guess, at that point by the time you get to the weekend. Make sure you're reading your putts right on the greens and everything. You know, is that the biggest challenge going into those types of events, especially the first two rounds?
Well, Michael, it's hard to say because that would vary so much from one player to the next. The greens at Helfrich, you know, 2 years ago they lost their greens due to an irrigation problem. This year the greens at Helfrich were the best they've ever been in the history of the golf course. So they had some really good greens to putt on this year. Plus, with all the rain we'd had beforehand, the golf courses were soft. And soft golf courses equal good scores for better players.
Much of the reason why a lot of the field went low.
Yes, much more able to control their ball.
Right. All right. Well, we take our first break here on Sunday night. When we come back, highlights from moving day. Plenty of chutes and ladders yesterday at Rolling Hills.